All right, so to build, request my files, and where's that little chat box? Okay, go back up in here, huh? Maybe I'll get it right next time. Probably won't. Anyways, all right. So this is what um we're doing today. And my voice is a little too, yep. All right, so it's much faster than last time. Anyways, all right, so for this live stream, the goal is to minimize the menu. So we don't want people who don't know how to use a website having to learn. They don't want to learn. That's why they don't know how to build a website. So the goal here is, whoops, yeah. So the goal here is to make it extremely simple using AI. So we have a great interface. They can quickly move around. The point now is to find out what can't they do. Again, there are pilot testers, but they're only operating through email. The next step is to get them to come into Clajama to do their tasks. Now, one thing I have to keep in mind is that these people eventually will need human help. They will need human help. No matter how simple the tool makes the task, there are people who just will not do it. They will not learn it. It could be 2 buttons, it could be 1 button. They're still not going to do it. So I have to find a balance between what's simple to them, but what's useful for someone like me. So I need to see what the server's doing. I want to see the task. I want to see what went wrong. I want to know what happens. If this is created in a way where it's almost just pretty much just a chat box, after a while you can't correct context or you can't redirect the actual AI to continue doing or do what you wanted to do, because if it loses context, it's going to start working on the wrong thing. So at some point, there has to be isolation between projects. Now, the last thing I was thinking about is there has to be a way to make sure that these people don't accidentally work on the wrong project. So if a person has 6 projects, it should never be possible for them to just come in here and start typing and editing or changing something not knowing. But I don't want it so difficult that they got to come in here, open the project, click the project, open the project. Now we're inside of the project. This is much easier than the last build from the last video. My request, I don't have any requests. This is linked up to our admin billing system. Let's see, I'm able to open my private chat links. All of these have been sent. This is excellent. So we can actually track, and that's the whole point. Or the reason that I am, what are you building? This is a client portal for me to stop actually working on people's websites. I've been working on this for a while. I do have pilot customers. The goal is I don't want someone calling me and asking me, hey, can you change a picture on my Facebook page? That actually happened today with one of the pilot testers. And it's like, first off, what picture do I need to change? What's the password? What are all these other things? And it's just to make it simple for me, because I have another job. I have a family. I have so much stuff to do that if these people just interact with it, the only time it'll ask me for something is when you need a human. So, this is the entrepreneurship operating system. That's the best way I would put it. And I'm looking at it from a customer's view. Going back over the interface, and still needing to fix the mail server, which is sending these to spam. I don't know what this stuff is. And so they're either going to spam. I had them coming in the inbox. So a customer would email and say, I have not been able to open my, well, this is the last test. So they would say something like, change my Facebook page. They'll email it to the system. The system will generate a response and send a private link. This stops them from having to log in. Once they actually click it, it already has a key given to them because it already knows who it's talking to. And then if it knows who it's talking to and they have something already inside of the database, it'll just keep going. But yeah, totally. Appreciate you. All right, so now I need to get private chat fixed. This is where we left off last time. Clajama command channel is live. Reply here to command. A fresh link is on its way. I just got that in my inbox. Yes. Thanks for reaching out. Open private chat. The room is fully paired. Only 2 devices allowed. And we click join the private chat. Let me make sure to open another window. All right, and so private chat is going to take the customer into the conversation. Let me do a dig. The emails are sending. The button in the email to join private chat is working. The button to open private chat is getting the click, but no chat is opening. Trace and add to our logging. All right, and so that way I won't actually have to go back in here. And now let's see if, let me see if I can get Chrome desktop running. So then we can view that as well. Let's see, applications, system. Where are you, Chrome tab? Actually, what we'll do is that's what we'll do. We'll just open up. We'll just go in through a port and just live stream. So on the same local network. Over WAN. All right, yeah. So what we'll do is get a link. All right. So we still don't have open chat working. How we share your information. These are outdated now. And we would or could. All right, so we got to stick to the last thing. So Build errors. Let's go through and get rid of these projects. Just delete. Delete. And this needs to be corrected. We can't create a project. Let's see. Let's see. Allow access to human help or support. The next one is fix the create project flow. Unable to create. Let's go look at these tasks. So if there are no tasks, another thing is to identify. I don't like this keyword, it keeps glowing. Identify the use for tasks and how to utilize in user experience. Alright, so the human help, first off, if you allow for existence, since this is a business, how much, what is offered, if declined, offer to competitor. Anything I don't want to do, we want to still get them to the answers. All right, and the EOS flow is confusing because first off, let's see, EOS. I need to identify what is it showing, why is it showing, what can the user do, and what does it affect? Alright, and so I do get this, but this part is literally, it's almost the same thing as this. It's almost the same thing as this. So create a website about why grass makes you itch. Why grass makes you itch. Okay. So this should be in the projects then. I still don't see it. Let's refresh. And that's what makes me wonder, in the EOS pipeline, what is happening to this? Next, who is the target for the audience? What is the main goal? Outline 5 inches. So I'm reviewing, okay. But I would want to know, why do I have to keep clicking next? It's going through some sort of phase. It's going through a dead phase. Or it's an opening that doesn't belong there. So we would say creation pipeline and EOS, it's not wired. Not wired. And let me see my files, my documents. I do like this, but you can't break template. Files is not using base. Ginger 2. And when that happens, it disturbs. I mean, I kind of see that there, but see, we want it to be consistent. It has to be consistent. All right, so let's put in, what do we have here? Access to human support should either be access to human support should have a reason. If it is to do scope work, it is an additional invoice. Can't get on here and do PowerPoints for people and stuff like that. Let's see, fix create project flow. Unable to create EOS create project flow is dead. What is EOS pipeline showing? Why? For what? And how does the user do it? What does it affect? All right, and user files not using same EOS design. All right, and let me see if we fixed this yet. All right, perfect. I was looking, so here's the crazy part. Every email that I sent that I never got to respond to, that I kept sending in over and over and over and over again, it did get it. And what do they mean by admin? Okay, admin takes them back to here. Okay, so it does separate my admin from theirs. Customer view. These are my projects. Wait. Who am I signed in as? So it converted these, it dumped these projects to me because I said I didn't want them. There it goes, I've been looking for these. So it did a good cleanup. 11 projects, EOS, admin. So somehow I actually got into the admin. Client request. Yeah. And who am I signed in as? Oh no, I am the admin. But this person here. Oh, because I went through my own email. So who am I now? Now I'm Sinclairon. But that's because it logged me in through the chat. So we definitely need to ensure. We already got those. Ensure user can't cross over into Clajama admin. User is admin of their own sites. The URLs should never escalate via manipulation to admin. The admin was logged in as a test user and used a private chat link that switched into admin. That makes sense to me. That means it signed the other person out and put me in. But I want to make sure you can't crisscross because now we are admin. And when they're saying go look at customer, this is me as a customer. Okay. So the private chat logged me in. And the only other thing now would be admin. My request. Apply here to command. So private chats have to sync with the user's private chat needs to merge with Jama chat. It is all the same chat, just via different entry points. Alright, so what this will do is also allow to make sure that every request a person makes, there's a history of it. I did send it in, I did do this. Different entry points. Different entry points. This way, the conversation is always up to date and about the specific issue plus projects, isolated data. Yeah, all right. So yeah, these are all the test ones I did as admin. I forgot all about these. I got 415 tasks. That you can't click. That should definitely be clickable. Upload of seasonal drinks and pastry items. These are from all the sites that I built. So this is the actual list here. And what I want to make sure is that these anything pending does not actually, let's see, all tasks must, okay, this is stuff for me to do. No, all tasks, ensure task memory and API leaks are not occurring, such as pending tasks running infinite over tokens. Alright, and so I could assume all of these are right, because, but let me start deleting some projects. Okay. Rock Hunt, I still want to do that one. That one, I'll never forget that one. And we need this project space clean. So let's go ahead and add these in for dig. Projects UI is incomplete. Buttons, text. What else was I saw? Let's identify what this is here. This is div tabs, text in div.tabs. And it should learn, because it's got, like I said, it has another thing on the back learning what we're doing, so it'll apply these to the sites it's built. Let me get this list of things here. Ensure clients can't cross over into admin login. I used a private chat but was logged in as someone else, and it elevated me to admin. Private chat needs to merge with Jama chat. Ensure project specific data isolation. It's always conversation is always up to date about the specific issue. We want to build business knowledge via conversation and feedback via issues. Oh yeah, ensure no tasks, memory leaks, or API consumption leaks. What else did we get on the list? That's it. Let that run. All right. So, and that was the next thing I put in. If this starts off as a private chat and a user closes it out, the user is not going to want to go back to the email to open up their private chat. So the way it's actually supposed to be, or the design that is, let me see, I don't see it anywhere. The way it's supposed to be is Jama is always available. Jama is always accessible via chat. Let me check the service integrations and setup. This has gone zeroed out. In the last, yeah, okay, I see what's happening here. I'm in as admin. Go to customer. This is supposed to be always here. The issue, or I guess what originally created that problem, was once you go into a project where you go to create a new one, and it's still working on this right here. Let's go ahead and put it in there. Project name, yeah, this is completely different. We'll call this one want something that's gonna be, I want to see something different. House fan plan. Let's create a website about how to use house fans and house box fans to keep cool in the heat in the summer. All right, this is just gonna be a website. All right, house fan plan, activity. See, you can't see activity. Oh, I didn't realize chat is actually being programmed right now. What does it say here? It says now add the open in Jama chat link to the room past the project. Yeah, so it's actually altering the chat right now. And EOS pipeline. Guide the work. Advance when ready. See how that part or that makes no sense to me to see what it's doing. Can you show us the artificial robot? What is he doing? does the robot operate? I don't think I actually just took that out in the last video, the actual brain. So you actually won't be able to see that. It's called the mind. You can see all it's running around. But no, you actually can't see that. It operates, this is pretty much just a harness. This whole thing is a harness. Again, it's to take my customers and let them do it on their own. I actually don't want to be getting calls and posting things on Facebook. Not interested anymore. Especially with AI coming out. But no, let me see. Nah, these you can't decode those. Yeah, I took the whole mind out last video. Yeah, so unfortunately, you won't be able to actually see that. But right now, going through fixing the user interface, doing security, testing the admin. Still got to give people human help. But no, that's actually crazy you asked that right after I took it out. But yeah, I'll think of something. I kind of want like a little being floating around, but that'd be just animation. And I'd have to go back too much code to put it back. It's definitely in a backup somewhere, because it always does a backup. And right now, I'm actually trying to fix private chat. And private chat is the customer says, I want to do something. Instead of them talking to me, they'll open up a private chat that keeps all their conversations from every time they talk. It'll automatically log them in. Paste any new text content to use or key points and I'll draft it. And so now that I have it open, now we need to work on this conversation way. It is only focused on doing what it's supposed to do. So this person's complaint would have gone completely unnoticed. I haven't been able to, if they go through and look, this person is saying I was looking at another platform that's cheaper. Oh, I haven't read this. Totally fair to compare. Just so you know, Clajama isn't only a platform. You get me actively building and managing your site, contracts, email, setup, and SEO. So that $10 usually covers a lot more hands-on work. If you tell me which platform you're comparing, so now we need to give it empathy. But this is the robot that is controlling the platform, Jama. And I might screen share my private laptop. On my private laptop, Jama is actually a spider on the desktop. And you can see how it processes these words and things. But yeah, we need to get some empathy into this. So review the conversation flow. Oh, and how does the robot, the one that I'm working on to work on this, is Square. No, it's Goose. Goose by Square is my personal agent making the changes. It's free and open source. It's free and open source. It's the best one that I have ever used ever. And I have been turning everything that they do into what I need it to do. Review the conversation flow. Notice the lack of empathy. At some point in this conversation, I was looking at other platforms. I need to see where this conversation goes. Hi. Contracts or request a change. Just tell me what you need or type help to see everything you can do. I actually haven't typed help. Okay. Let's see what we get back. Any images, logos, or files included. So it is completely off topic. Nice one. Thank you. I need to learn how to operate these robots. Yeah, actually, I'll actually show you. this is my Windows computer. This is all you have to do. I don't think I. All right, yeah. So how do you get Goose? This is my favorite one. Goose agent by block. You just want to go right here. This stuff is very dangerous. You can, yeah, you can. I wouldn't run this on something you make purchases. Like I said, I got a Chromebook, installed Linux on it, and that's where I run this one at. If I could turn this computer off, this one has Linux running on a dual boot. But all you want to do is go on that website. If you got Windows, click Windows. If you got Linux, which I got, and then you got Mac OS. But yeah, once you get it, shoot, I'll just show you. It's really not that hard. Now the hard part, if there is one or was one, it would be understanding the limitations and learning how to like talk to it. And actually, yeah, cause I ain't gonna do that. Cause I was gonna stream my Chromebook to this computer. Let me see. Extract. You just extract it. Once it's extracted, distribution is Windows. Double click. And you're gonna see all this other stuff. None of that stuff really matters. The only one that matters is this one that says application. Goose application. Personally, I right click and run it as the administrator. The only thing you need to, and see, it's already on this computer. I just uninstalled it, and this is it right here. I might even have LLMs running on this one. And this, I think I outdated that key. So if you, yeah, it's picking up right where we left off. But I think that key is old. And you would pretty much, oh my gosh. You just reminded me I had it on this computer. Yeah, so I'll show you how to use. Actually, we can use it and do this, and then watch it live. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to get it on my. Well, I just like my Linux computer more. Where you at, Goose? Okay, I closed it. Yeah, so if you downloaded it, that's it. You got it. You got an agent right there, and I guess we'll use this agent to do this. Now I got 2 Linux machines on the network. And actually Goose can connect to the other Goose. So let me see. Hi, if it responds, this key is still good. Load into conversation. In reality, no, this is a brand new chat. So it might be that API key is bad. Oh no, it's good. So yeah, this is all you need. This is how you work one of these agents. This is what you're asking to learn how to do. Ran into this error, available for this session. Let's see. And I think I have Olama on here. Yeah, Clin.3 is on here. I think Clin.3 is on here. I think successfully switched, yeah. So, but I wouldn't use this model to work on my stuff. Let's see, hi. Takes forever. This computer is only, yeah. But that's it. That's how to operate these robots. Unfortunately, you can't really see it do anything. I think it would be, nah. Because this computer is a house use computer, I wouldn't actually want to connect it to something else and it trigger and cause something else. But yeah, that's all you need to do. But what you would do is, all right, for example, if you got this far, let's just say there's another one that I can, wait, there's another one. I think this one's kind of slow too. Unsloth is pretty fast. And hi, send the interrupt. And it might go slower, might go faster. Dang, now you got me wanting to show it to you. I don't even know if Goose is on here. No. And then WSL, I hate using this stuff on a Windows machine. All right, so yeah, that would be how you actually would install Goose, or what I'm using, or what have been. Well, I've used this Gemini Pro. I've been working on this. This is going into the past the 1 year mark. But yeah, that would be how you do that. Unfortunately, I don't have any API keys on this computer. But yeah, that's actually a really good video. We should definitely do a video like that one. Yeah. See, make video for people to learn how to easily use AI. And that goes into what I'm doing here. All right, so we deployed the 10 files. There are no tasks. Business knowledge from conversation feedback issues have been resolved. So we should be able to refresh. I need to go into customer view. Okay. Admin. Let me make sure. Yeah, so the last thing I didn't tell it to do is dig. Review the conversation. Review the conversation from admin and analyze the lack of empathy, fluidity, and dynamic. Find a solution and resolve. And so I'm literally typing the same stuff on the other computer into a terminal to get this done. Likely empty or broken. So let's look at some of the past builds. Can't click build still. Control C. I can't access a project's tasks, builds, activity. Pretty sure admin works. Activity, settings, admin. That's all I can do. Activity or settings. This is not styled as required. Or either it didn't push it. So, all right, so this would be a customer's settings for their website. There are so many settings. Really kind of need to cut this down, but if they're kind of back here, that's what they kind of chose. So, takes every site, breaks it into how many times we built this site, 19 times. How many plugins are in this site? There's 7. There are 130 blocks. Blocks are our building pieces. They're how we build websites. The goal is to be able to do it almost instantly. So instead of building this whole page, if you want a header menu or top navigation, you don't change much of anything. And also, this logo here is supposed to be over there, but that's from it unifying into one. And I'll change that in the next sweep. All right, look at our, see, I can't get into any of these. It's so much. Okay, so it should have at least scrolled me down to it. So these look like the demo blocks. Home page. You can add a page. So this site has our core plugins, header, footer, heroes, etc. It has the blogging engine that does the comments, categories, tags, and author profiles. E-commerce, memberships, analytics, forms, media, and then they can come and see their form submissions. If they were to get one, they'd be notified, or it would show up in chat. All right, and so combine blocks would be, instead of rebuilding a block or, for example, form, we would take a form and just combine it with a pricing table, or take the form and combine it with a cart side by. Take the form and combine it with testimonials. Product gallery, we're combining product galleries with reviews. Pricing, obviously, pricing table plus a fact. Let me see what else. And this is the old admin, which this should not be. This should not be in here. So this, I'm in an admin project. So now we have to go back and do admins. Okay. 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 All right. So we can track orders for sites. I don't really want to dig through that to see the orders on that application. Um, but it'll show you what's fulfilled, what's unfulfilled, what's waiting. And this is for people who are doing e-commerce. The part that is being done today is doing user interface and getting Facebook access set up. So we already have it. Let me go back to admin. And so Facebook page manager. It says it's not connected, but more than likely there is an ID already in here, because some of this stuff got unwired, making a few changes. Well, major changes. Hanging paid but unfulfilled orders across all stores. Auto nudge owners. So this nudges the owners to fulfill orders. Invoicing orders. Customer relationship manager is here. Let's get these tests. I can't delete them out. And let me pull for this one, because I don't know what it will show that is not mine. Account joined. You can send them invoices. This isn't bad. What is guard? Time, invoices, services. All right, so we need to go back through and do a clear, CRM clear. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't show any personal identifiable information. Okay, so we go back. And every customer, every account has a CRM. So, for example, cloning a website. So you can completely clone a website that you already have. It will clone the website, but rewrite it into the Clajama platform stack, which is open source. Jinja 2, Python, and Flask. You can take it anywhere. And then I'm looking for conversions out, but billable hours. This needs to be cleared out. The time tracker. Time tracker. Time tracker. Time tracker. So invoicing. Okay. paid. Canceled, scheduled. I want those. 2007. Is that January 1st? All right, so we need invoices and invoices. So actually, let me type it straight in here. CRM. Actually, do a dig. CRM, invoices, time tracker. Okay. Payments, manual payments. Okay, select. Okay. I don't like the way this is designed. This isn't on a proper layout. Manual payments. And this is admin side. All of these things, every admin who has a site will have access to. So if they need to make manual payments, let's see, go back. Client requests. This isn't designed bad, but there's nothing there to do. CRM, we already checked that. Orders wasn't designed well either. It kind of was. It's straight. The blog page, hate it. And these are all pages that were made after. I mean, before. And so in the next sweep, all of these pages will be fixed. Blog, the Jama Agent Console. Okay, this is pretty much the conversation. And you know what? Dashboard. It's something about this I don't like. Let's see. Input wrapper bar. All right. Input bar wrapper. Dot input dash bar wrapper. All right, yeah, let's get that resolved as well. All right, so where are we at? Blog, Java, build traces, versions of different builds. This is okay. See, these are using a different, if you notice, this is using a different template than this is. And this is using a different template than this is. We got to get all of them on the same. Some of these have been here so long. Activity log. Activity log and pipeline look the same. See, user activity log and pipeline seem really similar. Real similar. Block health. And block health is every single one of these quote unquote plugins or modules or blocks has its own health check. So if your site comes with e-commerce, the health checks will include payments down, orders that don't work, everything in the realm of that one thing is doing. Newsletter, can I send it? Did they receive it? Are we on a spam list? Each one of these comes with its own health check. So when we stack them together inside the blocks, because e-commerce is a system and we stack the components into a block, we can always report back to e-commerce any issue, which will then get sucked into the greater system. Yeah. All right, so block health is okay. Communication log. Communication log needs some grease on it. Communication log. Because I don't like the way this looks. And this is how you can track and see everyone who was sent the email. These are the computers talking to each other. YG and OG. YG and OG are old goose and young goose. It marks every time they engage, if they click, because we don't want anyone, either one, not getting help, or two, saying they didn't get any help. Every client is scanned for problems, orders paid but unfulfilled, still pending, owners nudged via email, plus deduped in communication log. All right, service manager. These are all of the quote unquote built from scratch plugins. The goal was that every site is really made out of the same things. And these are the cores that are always on: projects, tasks, billing, dashboard, and the Jama agent. SMS, still working that part out because I have to register a number and all sorts of stuff. Might not be used to it. Might not even be worth it. Um, and then Facebook, I need to see it's not valid. All right, and then service marketplace. Okay, and the goal here is it's not to override anything, but as you can see, Facebook manager pages. It's Facebook manager. Like I said, you see how these fonts are changing? When we switched over to an EOS design, some of them stayed and some of them actually never got touched. And the ones that aren't designed now never got touched. This is a really amazing one that I spent a lot of time on. And it was way before Clajama. This will take, so like for example, I would build sites for people and they would have Shopify inventory that they wanted to put into WooCommerce, or WooCommerce stuff they wanted to put in Shopify, or just inventory that they got from somewhere and wanted to put into the store. This unifies all of it, and the most difficult ones are Shopify and WooCommerce, and this is where you would actually do your importing of the product. So if we were to say, hey, I got a Shopify website and I want to import these products, you click them. Click that as well. You either do one run and then it will hit all of your products into your store, or well, even before you have the store, it will pull the products in, or unless it's doing a clone. And we definitely need to get the migrate page, and as you can see, it's showing the old admin dashboard. Timers, invoices, profiling. And profiling is kind of personal. It's kind of personal. Okay, 3 on those, 1 on those. All right, let me go back. All right, so this is where we last left. And this is the new EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System. SMS Import Notification Center. This is from the demo store that we're setting up for a customer, or the one that was notification imported in. That this is where they'll be able to see the notifications. However, since everything was put in by me, see, it's for a demo. Let's go back home. And my request, my files, my admin. I'll still go back this way because we still got to unify these two menus. It's going back for every time I clicked it. Form submissions, profiling, and admin test. So the profiling is for business owners. Everything that is being built in for my personal use is accessible to every other person. Profiling allows you to determine issues with certain customers. Building my business, one of the worst things was either sending someone an invoice, they're not paying it, and I did the work up front trying to, build your business. Hey, yeah, everything's kind of trust based. You need it just as much as they need it. And then getting out of that point to saying, well, actually, when I do work, who's going to pay me? When someone asks me to do something and I do it quickly, how quick does their mind change? all these things go into keeping them from having to do a refund, keeps me from having to um, feel a type of way, because at some point the system is going to kick in and it's going to kind of say, you know what, and you can pretty much eject people out. So, for example, and I'm saying that in the most clearest, clean way. For example, if somebody doesn't like the way Clajama runs, you can get ejected. Ejected means you have everything you need with a script to go put it on a server anywhere else, and you're just gonna run it, and it's gonna pick up right where it left off. Um, as far as how's your IP gonna change and your DNS and all other stuff, that's one thing that I was doing, was selling and managing domains for people. I wanted every single penny that there was. But then after a while, when people don't like what's going on, which none of that do I care for, it's just the actual time that goes into having to do it. Somebody wants to say, hey, I don't like Clajama, I hate it, but I want to keep my stuff. All right, click. All your stuff is, because everything is open source. We do not want people to be tied into a platform. That, if you go back to the old videos, it's still the same thing. We want to help people. We want to really help people. Let me check files. Yep, they got documents fixed. This is perfect. Open my private chat. Make a request. Yeah, so this is one thing. I don't have a site yet. It's not about a site. Okay. All right, then you can do a request. Yeah, okay. You can do a request from there. Let me take a look at admin. And we should, I think it's because I switched out of both of these, should be able to see the budget. Took the budget out, I think. And that one's probably an HQ. Alright, so at this point, profiling, they all use a different layout. Using layout, they should follow, what page was it I was just on where I said that looks good how that happened? My files. It should follow the my files layout. And let me see. And what we doing? And you see how this is going? One is one way, one is another way, one is another way. These are H1s. H1s. Yeah. They should use the same font. Same font size. Coloring style. Etc. Alright. And customer. Alright, so the next thing is we have to get these running. Transaction decline 13. Who's trying to charge me? 76 available. I'm just gonna pin it again. Prepaid card balance is $1.07. I have $76. Cash App. Somebody charging me on Cash App? That's why you lock everything. 819. Where's Cash App trying to charge me for? Oh, I think that. Yep. Let me see. Where we at? I don't know what that's for. August 213. Oh, okay. It's coming from. It's going through PayPal to. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Let's see. Just slide that over there. Don't let him get the square card. All right. Anyways, so let's do a sign out. Let's do a refresh. Let's do an ask and request to change. And I am trying to communicate because we've already finished this. Communicate with you, and I have issues. Hey, when are they gonna come over? Go ahead. Let me see. I'm trying to. Confirm. All right. Did that. Okay. All right. So we open our private chat. Go straight to it. Perfect. Is there a deadline for this change? I am trying to communicate with you and I have issues. What we need to do is a great way to do this is let's use stronger tools. Well, okay. Can you detect an issue in the conversation between the person and the agent? Analyze what user is doing, asking, and what agent is doing. Thank you. If I put Claude in here, we'll spend like $1,000 a day. What's that one for? Oh, I don't have to work today. The agent seems to be running a rigid, and that's the same thing I've been saying, linear intake script, change type, What the user actually doing, cheap agent applies, fine on topic. Agent ignores that too and asks for context. User types help. Of course, the user has been trying to flag and access communication broken. This is a classic symptom of a bot that pattern matches to next question in the form rather than checking what good handling would look like. Let's teach. Let's see. Act as an agent professor and give this agent information on how it should perform, how it should identify action calls, and how to isolate the user's RAG to learn, build, and what do they call that guy? learn, build, and lead and follow concerning its own non-disclosed instructions and how to change them and how to change them. So, and I've said that before. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, man. I'm working on something. This beat though. Oh yeah. I'm using Cloud Code. They're trying to figure out, can he code? Yes, I can, but no. It's not that I won't. It's that I don't want to. Oh. All right, so we just fixed the get human help request and also the conversation flow. So this was the last conversation flow. Hi there, I'm here to help with your site. Oh, I gotta turn the music back down because I was jamming heavy just a minute ago. Hi, I'm here to help with your site. Contracts, email setup, SEO audits, and more. Ask me a question, get ideas for your site, or request a change. Just tell me what you need or type help to see what I can do. So this is a flawed chat because this was during testing. What type of change is this? I type create a site. Which page or section does it affect? I was looking for other platforms to answer to that. I have changes that need to be made now, and the private link's not open. Describe what you change, what you want changed, as much as detail as you like. I've not been able to private chat. Paste a new text below. It's literally just give me this or die. So now we will be able to have an actual chat with the bot. And let's see. I need a contract written. Obviously, user would be able to talk to Clajama, but we want to test for an outside in. I need a contract for my grass cutting business for customers to keep us safe from liability from flying rocks. From flying rocks. Oh yeah. I want a private chat with you, baby. I want a private chat with you, baby, 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 baby. I want a private chat with you, baby, baby, private chat with you, baby. Okay. Okay. I just want to chat with you, baby. 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 All right, so this is our private link. I need a contract written. Open the private chat. Oh yeah. Open the chat. Anything else that we should know? No. I just want a private chat with you, baby. I just want a private chat with you, baby. And so we also need animations for when user is waiting. Let me see. Got it. Here's an underscore. What type of changes? Create the site chat notes. I was looking. This is the new change. Sending through. The room stays open. Want to keep going. Pick an open option. By the way, you can make changes to your site. All right. So it just refreshed the request and waiting. Also review the chat with. Also, let's just see. Reset all chats. Reset all private chats to clear them out. Remove test users. You know what? This is what we need to do. Also review. Users waiting. Reset. Clajama site data. No, we don't reset. Remove test users. Add the customers from the prior batch. using emails, and review the chat for admin, and empty all test projects. All test projects and data from test users or test runs clean for production. Do not delete live sites. Set them under their proper users. All right, by the way, you can still make changes. So yeah, this chat is pretty much damaged. It's got the old flow into it. My files. Oh yeah. One thing I'm trying to figure out is if you know it's me. And that actually leads me to another thing. Do you know it's me? And actually, let's cancel that last request. Users. Also, a private chat should be accessible only to the log. Well, see, you don't want to break something up that bad. Also, how are private chats linked to the data of the user the AI is speaking with? To view files, you have to log in, and this breaks the conversation flow. If user goes from private chat to log in to view files, how do they get back? How do they get back without having to search? And today we are running Facebook pages. We're going to link them up to real pages. And our private chat does work. So, and then this also kind of plays into contact. Contact and ask or request a change should all be the same thing. Have a question, feedback, or need help? That is this. Yeah. So contact and ask are going to be combined and merged together. We'll get some new blogs. Again, you'll see the spacing and sizing is not correct in this back here. What is this? Yeah, EOS public. The Y Clajama page. This right here should not be there. And that kind of solves this issue. Yeah. WC base. All right, one site. I have to go back over these pricing. Because actually, with all the stuff that I have done, I have spent a lot of money on tokens. The real customers. Who is this here? Netflix. Load streams. SMS speed. The complete user list. Enhancer proof. So there's actually other users I don't even know are using this. Okay. Alright. Control C. Owner, real client, search. Oh, shit, getting lit. Battery. I don't want to flip your switch type shit, but that should be enough. Okay. Transforming thought threads. Alright. So we'll be able to come back. This is the crazy part. You're logged in, but you're not logged in. Sign in.